We all got to do what we got to do. I'm a little self-conscious. I took all of the mirrors out of my house because I don't even want to see a nigga no more, man. Not after what I witnessed on the news. This man made it 1,000 times harder for brothers in America, man. Don't nobody want to sit next to you. Don't nobody want to be around you. When you hear people locking their car doors, you should understand after what you about to witness in this video. Rest in peace to the victims. It ain't no limit to what brothers is doing out here in these streets today, man. I ain't want to believe it until I seen it with my own two eyes. This is sickening, but we all got to pray for the victims out there, you know, and pray that the situation get better. And I'm going to be praying while I'm making this video because I don't understand exactly what's going on here. Maybe y'all can help me understand. Reg, let's get into this, man.
Irina Zarutska was 23 years old and fled from a bomb shelter during the war in Ukraine to find a new home and new job in North Carolina. Prosecutors say on August 22nd, on her way home from work, she was killed while in that seat on the light rail system in Charlotte. The FBI says the man who stabbed and
murdered... hell no, man. They talking about giving this fool the death penalty. They need to do something tonight. Matter of fact, right now. This is something out of a horror movie, y'all. I'm sickened and I'm disturbed by this shit, man. Look.
Zarutska is DeCarlos Brown Jr., who they say was later seen walking off the train with a bloody knife.
This is obviously a horrible situation.
Oh, God, no.
But this is why federal statutes exist. They exist to take care of situations like this.
Brown already faces local charges, but U.S. Attorney Russ Ferguson of North Carolina today announced a...
Man, what the fuck wrong with him, y'all? Is this your cousin? Who related to this nigga? Which one of y'all women's out there don't slept with this demon? Where he come? North Carolina? What's happening, man? What was he sad about? He's sitting on a goddamn train crying. Was he mad because he ain't got no car? Trump talking about giving this man the death penalty. They need to, man, take it back old school on his ass, make America great again. I don't know what they need to do. This is disturbing, y'all. This shit got me thinking about Django, Roots, all that shit. He still breathing? What could make somebody that damn mad? And it's already bad enough that he representing for the people of color out there, especially the men out there. It's a whole lot I could say, but the main thing I want to say is rest in peace to this lady. And y'all talking about being passport bros and all that shit, going to other countries. Y'all looking to find anything but an American woman. With shit like this on the news, y'all passport bros might as well cancel your passports. Or bring that ass back to America because it ain't safe having y'all ass nowhere, man. Not only did he make it bad for brothers in America, he making it bad for brothers all across the world. He got Jamaicans looking bad. He got Haitians looking bad, Africans, Aborigines, Australians looking bad. Oh my God.
Federal charges being added, citing the scene of the crime, a mass transit system, raising the possibility of the death penalty.
It's a terroristic act to make people afraid to go about their daily lives. That's what terrorism is.
Yeah.
Court records show Brown has been arrested 14 times, including a 2015 conviction for robbery with a dangerous weapon. President Trump and his...
What the fuck was he doing out on the street, y'all? Like, it ain't gonna be no second and third and fourth chances, y'all. This right here, this is it. They about to put some laws in place to where you fuck up one time, they not trusting you out there in society. Especially if you don't cut them turds off your damn head, man. I'm calling for a ban on dreads. The ladies out there, you keep the dreads, you know what I'm saying? Long hair, don't care. But for y'all fellas out there, it's time to cut that shit. Because maybe it's in them damn antennas. I don't know what it is. But people get them dreadlocks and lose their motherfucking mind. years and years of negative energy. I ain't making no excuses for the man, but god damn, it looked like he was waiting for whoever got close to him or whatever. I don't know what was going on in his mind. But look, your boy Trump talking about it. And you know he not playing. They don't put the National Guard in Chicago. I thought North Carolina was a safe place. They gonna have to bring the National Guard out there too.
His allies have highlighted the incident as proof that his attention to crime is justified.
We have to respond with force and strength.
The president leaned into the case today, posting on social media that a repeat offender allegedly killing a young refugee warrants stronger federal intervention and deployments in Democratic-led cities. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Washington.
She left her country to get away from war just to come to America and encounter, I don't want to say what I want to say, even though I want to say it. We at war right here with each other, man. Oh, man, this is sad. Look at this, y'all.
5 o'clock, North Carolina is in the national spotlight after a woman was stabbed to death on a light rail train more than 2 weeks ago, and it was all caught on video. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Ashley Rowe. Today, President Donald Trump talked about the stabbing during a speech at the National Museum of the Bible. WRAL's Grace Holland has more on why it's gaining attention now and how state and national leaders are responding, Grace.
23-year-old Irina Zarutska was killed on a CATS light rail train in Charlotte on August 22nd. You see her picture right here.
They gonna bring back public executions, y'all. They really gonna make America great again after this shit. I can already see it. Plus, the box office ain't bringing in no tickets. Let them put some tickets up for this nigga, man, and make it public. Let them set that up and see how it's gonna be another rally. They all come, pickup trucks coming, man. They might as well make this shit public. Since what he did to her is so public, and they got it all on the news, this vicious act of violence, I wouldn't even be surprised if they put his ass on the podium, or however they used to do it back in the, I don't know how they're gonna do it, man. But they might just have to make an example out of this fool. Make it so gruesome, you might even need your 3D goggles to get the full effect. You figure somebody on the train, they just trying to get to where they gotta go. She just got off work, tired. And she felt like it was all right to sit there. I wouldn't have sat next to his ass. I would have saw him and sat on the other side of the bus, and I'm a black man my damn self. Like I said, I took all the mirrors out my house. I don't know what the fuck I look like. I probably got a booger in my nose. I wouldn't know it. I ain't trying to see a nigga. Not after what I seen. And for you ladies out there, keep on telling these niggas you married. The hell if you got a ring on your finger or not. Say I'm married. As soon as you open his mouth, I'm married. My husband, I'm waiting for my husband. My husband in the car. This sweet lady, it's a lot of brothers that would have been happy to have her, would have made her feel safe. There's dudes out there that'll jump in front of a bullet for a woman like that. And this whining, crying ass bitch done took her life for nothing, man, because he was in his feeling. Oh, bitch. It's the dreads, man. It gotta be something, but this not making no goddamn sense, y'all. These niggas is walking horror movies out here. It's a sad sight, man. It might ruin your day. You having a good time shopping at the mall. You done bought you some stuff. You got some bags. And you see a YN. That might ruin your whole damn day, man. That's how bad it is. I say for all the brothers out there, stay your ass in the house for the next couple of months until they figure out what the hell they gonna do with this fool. And if you ain't doing construction, take them goddamn construction Timbs off. If you ain't working out, it ain't no point in you having a damn hoodie on. Dress accordingly. And cut them dreads off, man. Because they about to, I'm telling y'all, they about to be passing some laws that y'all don't even know about all that. They need to target that loud music first, because it be some nice ass neighborhoods. Next thing you know, boom, 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 boom. They really need to get stricter on that loud music, disturbing the peace and all that shit. If you not dressed appropriate, you out here with some ski goggles on, it ain't even no snow. You got all this jewelry on and shit, and you ain't going to no club. It's in the daytime, you out there blinging and shining and all that shit. And you figure you can do what you want to do, but there's so many people out there that's pouring salt in the game. People need to learn how to act all over again. They gonna put some laws in place to where if you out there with a bonnet on, some flip-flops, and pajama pants at the Olive Garden, the police gonna snatch your ass up while you got the noodles in your fork. That's what it's headed to, because this reaching international news like this, people want some action, man. Y'all gonna see, look at this, y'all.
Here, 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown is charged with first-degree murder in her death. A warning, we're going to show you this video, and it is going to be disturbing for some viewers. Charlotte Transit System released surveillance video of the stabbing. In it, you see Zarutska get on the bus and sit in the front row of Brown. At one point, Brown reaches into his pocket, quickly gets up and lifts his hand. We're going to stop the video there. Zarutska died of her injury.
Oh, man, get this, man, do this shit public, man. We all want to see it. Whatever they gonna do to him, make it public. Whatever they gonna do. And you know, it's sad that we have to have these type of conversations, but we gotta have these type of conversations. This is a public safety measurement that we doing here on this video, so everybody out there can be safe. This young lady didn't have a clue what was about to transpire. And I don't want to say judge a book by its cover, but in 2025, about to be 2026, it's safe to judge a book by its cover. Because now, with this woke era and all this shit, people showing you exactly who they are most of the time. And don't just go by the way somebody look. We gotta learn how to interpret how people feel as well. My advice, face everybody. Don't turn your back to no motherfucking body. And if you walk past somebody, look back to see what the hell they doing. I know I do. I don't give a damn who it is. If I walk past you, I'm going to look over my shoulder a little bit and make sure your ass still walking in the direction you was walking. Because somebody could just run up on you and do you bad because they having a bad day. And for the people out there that's on the road, and it's traffic and people trying to get over and all that shit, and they honking the horn and they beeping. Don't entertain them people, because you don't know what that person going through. He might pull up on the side, you want to blow your brains out and keep it moving, man. You can't be fooling with people like that nowadays, man. We gonna have a society of hermits real soon. It's gonna be people, and the only thing that they trust is their phone. I hope Trump put the hammer down on this dude, man. I'm really disturbed and hurt and twisted about all of this here. Because I don't even know how to feel about myself, man. Went to sleep. I put the handcuffs behind my back last night when I went to sleep. I still got them bitches on, man. I got to turn around just to tap the keyboard. I don't even trust myself after this shit I just seen. Hold on, y'all. Y'all need to see this. Oh, God.
President Donald Trump was first asked about the stabbing by a reporter yesterday. At the time, he said he was unaware of the situation, but today he spoke about the murder during his remarks at the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C.
I just give my love and hope to the family of the young woman who was stabbed this morning or last night in Charlotte by a madman, a lunatic. Just got up and started. It's right on the tape. Not really watchable because it's so horrible.
And again, just to clarify, this stabbing did happen more than 2 weeks ago, but that video is the new thing here. It was just released in the last few days, and it has really brought the case into the spotlight. Governor Josh Stein went on social media today calling for state lawmakers to pass.
Hold on, wait. What's that all about? Hold on, y'all. You mean, hold up, this old news? Shit like this make it to the top of the list on day one. What you mean it was a couple of weeks ago and they just, what they do with that damn, what, hey, what's going on, y'all? And I ain't trying to be a conspiracy theorist or none of this, but homie got let out 14 times. And he been convicted. I thought it was 3 strikes and you're out. How the fuck he get 14 chances? And now he in the news for this. She a refugee or whatever the case is. Hey, I hate to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to take their word for it, but I need to get a better understanding of what's happening here. Like how did this even get to this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Okay, look at this, y'all. Let's get into this timeline. What we know about Charlotte light rail stabbing suspect, his criminal history. Let's get into it, man. The deadly stabbing of a Ukraine refugee on Charlotte's light rail in August has put a spotlight on the criminal justice system. Okay, this happened in August. This the 10th of September. So let's go. The killing has become a national lightning rod for controversy after surveillance video of the stabbing was released on Friday, September 5th. U.S. President Donald Trump and numerous other administration officials responded to the viral killing, blaming Charlotte officials for what happened. On Truth Social, Trump used the stabbing to campaign for Michael Watley, a GOP Senate candidate in North Carolina. U.S. Transportation Secretary Shawn threatened to pull federal funding for public transit in Charlotte. The FBI Director Kash Patel said his agency was investigating the stabbing. So, is this all adding up or lining up to, so hold on, wait. They threatened to pull federal funding for public transit in Charlotte. So they gonna get rid of the rail line, they gonna get rid of the buses. So it ain't gonna be no more public transportation in Charlotte. Cause I know they trying to, and I ain't trying to make this a conspiracy. Rest in peace to this young lady, y'all. But it's looking like they cutting back on a lot of funding. And that public transportation is one of them things they trying to cut back on. And with something like this happening, shit, a cut like that can cause somebody to cut any goddamn thing. In order to cut the public transportation, somebody got to get cut so they could cut. What is this, man? But that's Negro here nor there. With the case gaining national attention, he looked like he was sad that he had to do the shit. Like, man, what they had him on. And I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, I don't know the truth in all of the details and stuff. But he looked like he was stressed the fuck out before he did what he did. Like he ain't want to do, like he had to do something that he ain't really want to do. He was over there crying. Yeah, he like, oh no. Why he acting like that? This some old sleeper cell. Hey, I ain't gonna talk too much on it due to the seriousness of this situation. I ain't got no room to turn this into a conspiracy, but what the fuck going on, y'all? With the case gaining national attention, many have questioned the criminal history of DeCarlos Brown Jr. He got a Mexican and a black name. The man charged in the deadly stabbing, some wonder whether Brown, shit, might as well call his ass black, should have been free the night of the stabbing. What in the Wyclef John going on? WBTV compiled a timeline of Brown's history, which includes a string of misdemeanors and 2 felony incidents dating back to 2007, when Brown frequently failed to show up to court. Misdemeanor cases were repeatedly dismissed. The night of August 22nd, the stabbing, Brown was free on a written promise to appear in a nonviolent misdemeanor case and was facing no other pending court cases. He had previously served time, however, for 2 violent felonies. In 2007 and 2009, 3 misdemeanors. Brown was charged 3 times for misdemeanors between 2007 and 2009. Those charges included simple assault, disorderly conduct, and resisting a public officer. They make it seem like that's light work. According to court records, all of these cases were dismissed. Details of the incidents were not immediately available pending court system document uploads. Charges led to supervised probation. You know what? I want to see more about this this Charlotte public transportation shit. Look at this. Charlotte public transportation funding cut. The White House threat. Hold on, y'all. Look. The White House threatens transit cuts after murder on NC train. Gruesome train stabbing in Charlotte adds fuel to national crime debate. So, Trump administration threatened to cut the funding from Charlotte after the train stabbing. Suspect in Charlotte train stabbing that killed the Ukraine refugee is charged with a federal crime. Trump, they threatened to cut. So is that's going to resolve the situation by cutting the funding? The Trump administration has threatened to wipe millions in federal funding. Where'd that shit go? Where'd it go? See how they don't want me to read. What happened to it, man? Could barely read and is doing goofy shit. Find another one, Reg. They doing dumb shit. Look, they don't want us to read this stuff, man. The Trump administration has threatened to wipe millions in federal funding from the city of Charlotte as it probes whether officials are adequately protecting passengers following the fatal stabbing of a Ukraine woman on the train. She was only 23. Rest in peace to that beautiful queen. Was killed on August 22nd after she was attacked with no warning by a man sitting behind her on the train. So how long they been talking about cutting the funding of the public transportation and all that? Okay, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna take Charlotte out the picture. Wait. Students protest cuts to city bus service and funding dispute. They trying to take away the buses from the kids. Well, how the fuck they gonna get to school? Y'all better get them some scooters or some shit, man. Teach your kid how to ride a bike. They trying to take the transportation away from the kids. A budget shortfall put mass transit at risk across the U.S. Routes eliminated, trains once an hour, borrowing money contemplate a nightmare scenario. So this happening all across the country. Lawmakers warn of massive Bay Area transit cuts after government newsworm pulls back loan promises. So they ain't trying to. God damn, niggas ain't even gonna be able to get to work. So this just ain't in Charlotte or whatever the case is. All right, let's see what's going on here. Y'all ready? Let's get into this, man. Major transportation systems are cutting bus and rail services in an effort to stay afloat. You see them brothers getting on the bus, could barely walk, be limping and shit, gotta catch the bus, get them a nickel to take them wherever they gotta go. They about to cut that. Passengers board a Southern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority bus in Philadelphia August 25th. So they trying to, it went from Rosa Parks to sit your ass on the back of the bus to it ain't no bus to sit on no more. And thanks to this goddamn fool, this a turn in American history with his black ass. Now they about to cut all the transfer. You bet, man, it's going to be harder to get a car. It's electric bikes out there. Put on a hoodie and, people going to have to figure it out. But places like Charlotte, they ain't like New York City to where you could walk a couple of blocks and get you some sandwiches or whatever. Places in the South, you got to have transportation. You know what I'm saying? But they about to cut that public transportation. Transit agencies have been warning for years that the twin problems of diminished ridership and rising costs could send entire public transportation systems into a tailspin. Now some worry that day has come. The most drastic cuts have unfolded across Metro Philadelphia, where the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority nixed 20% of its service as Democratic and Republican lawmakers wrangle over a deal to close the system's $213 million budget in response to a court order. Officials Monday approved tapping into the system's budget for capital improvements to reverse the cuts, but they warn that without a durable fix, more cuts will come. Well, the cut I just seen, I say cut all that shit. Cut it all. If it's going down like that on public transportation, if stuff like this is happening to beautiful young women across America, then maybe we don't need no buses or no rail systems if it's that dangerous. Especially if any criminal can get their ass on the bus. They need to start IDing people when you get on public transportation. You get them $1.25 or whatever, and you gotta scan your ID too. And they need to have these, figure out some assigned seats. If you're a sex offender, you can't get on the bus. If you a criminal, you got a felony or some shit, your ass gonna have to walk. You a pervert or something like that, you got a history of mental health, they need to have that all on the driver's license. That'd be a new thing. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna get rid of the buses, even with Ubers and the ride share services, they need to put that in place too. If you're a weirdo and you got a criminal history, you can't catch the damn Uber. You're gonna have to walk. Figure it out, get a car, do something. You know what I'm saying? But this got me a little suspect about all of this. Because it's not like she's an American woman. How long she been taking that route? Is that her favorite seat or some shit? How long she been taking that train? You know what I'm saying? She not American. She from the Ukraine or whatever. And this shit is weird, man. But all I'm going to say is rest in peace to this beautiful queen. Look at this, y'all.
Passed his law enforcement and recruitment package. He said, in part, we need more cops on the beat to keep people safe. That's why my budget calls for more funding to hire more well-trained police officers. U.S. Senators Tom Tillis and Ted Budd both criticized the justice system, referring to weak on-crime judges and prosecutors and violent criminals walking free. North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson says he has told the district attorney that his office will provide any and all support to deliver justice. WRAL News looked into Brown's criminal history. Since 2011, he has been charged with a total of 8 felonies and 6 misdemeanors. He was in prison for nearly 6 years starting in 2015, and Brown was released in 2020. According to court documents, the first charge following his prison sentence was a misdemeanor for misuse of the 911 system. An affidavit says Brown called 911 because he believed he was given a man-made material that controlled when he ate, walked, and talked. He was out.
Hold on, wait a minute. But they had him under what type of control? Hold up, wait, what? MK Ultra? What the MK Ultra? What the MK Ultra? He called 911, claiming he was given a man-made material that controlled him. What type of Tuskegee experiment going on with this nigga right here? Was out on a written promise to appear when the stabbing happened. A written who's his handlers? What in the Scully and Mulder going on with this motherfucker, man? He called the cops and told them they gave him some shit that control. Is he a clone? This nigga like a goddamn puppet. He fighting this shit. Next thing you know, what is he a sleeper cell? What they doing to them niggas in jail? Man, that's enough to get somebody admitted, but they had him out on the street, man. This shit the more I investigate, somebody said he was a Manchurian candidate. Whatever he was, he fucked it up for a lot of brothers all across America, man. Don't you even think about trying to holler at no woman like this. You see her leaving the Starbucks looking all classy, smelling like very expensive perfume. You better not even, you look the other way. You better not even think about it, because it is not going down, Jermaine. This shit fucked up. Look how he was stressing on the bus, though. Like, man, I don't know, man. He looked like he was sad about it. Oh, my God, what the fuck? Hold on, I need to run that back one more time. Look at this, y'all. Look.
Criminal history. Since 2011, he has been charged with a total of 8 felonies and 6 misdemeanors. He was in prison for nearly 6 years starting in 2015, and Brown was released in 2020. According to court documents, the first charge following his prison sentence was a misdemeanor for misuse of the 911 system. An affidavit says Brown called 911 because he believed he was given a man-made material that controlled when he ate, walked, and talked.
What? Walked and talked? They put the gigabytes in his ass. What type of Metal Gear Solid genome project was he in? Look.
He was out of jail and on a written promise to appear for that charge when the stabbing happened. Brown's attorney has filed a motion for his competency to be evaluated in connection to this murder case. In his next court hearing is scheduled for September 19th. In the meantime, Katz says it has increased security and patrols, and the agency shared plans to upgrade its cameras, increase staffing, and strengthen its partnerships with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's really happening out here? What type of technology? And I don't want to say, man, it's just sickening, man. Like I said, I ain't here to jump to conclusions and conspiracies. All I know is that this young lady lost her life, and we got to have sympathy for her family. I know they grieving and everything, and a lot of people discussed it, that it even went down like this. So I'm just letting y'all know that it's going to be some changes after this right here, and it could very well affect everybody. And people's psyche fucked up because this is making international news. So people on the lookout, you know, you might have to go to the grocery store in the hood and they still gonna be watching their back. You might have to, I don't know, brother. It's fucked up. I don't know all the details, but like I said, I ain't trying to look too deep into it, but they trying to cut back on public transportation from the Bay Area to Pennsylvania all across America. The result is that millions of Americans will have fewer options for getting around next year, and that threatens far-reaching consequences for transportation, the biggest source of U.S. emissions. This feels like potentially a major turning point in the transit history in North America, said Matthew Palm, a transportation planning researcher and professor at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Cutting bus and rail service to balance budgets, he said, is like a very, very risky amputation, one that may permanently hinder the patient's capability. So this gonna cripple the damn city. Transit, and when they wrote this? So this was a couple of days ago, but they passing laws and they gotta get this shit to whatever, man. It's either this a freak accident, and which this some old whatever they trying to do, they can do it now. Cause ain't nobody trying to get on no bus after seeing no shit like that. Unless they make America great again and make it to where the brothers got to sit all the way in the back of the bus. That's probably what they trying to do, man. Make your ass, hush that fuss. Everybody move to the back of the bus. Put your ass way in the back. So if anybody sit down behind you, next to you, they gonna look just like your ass. Can you imagine the history of this country where niggas couldn't even barely get on the bus? You had to get on the bus with your head down. Matter of fact, this is the perfect time to take a little trip through history, man. Turn that music on. I need to see this, man. Cause we don't, for some shit like this to happen. Hold on, blacks. People act like they must have forgot. Look, they had the colored buses. When the bus pull up, you better act right. And you know where to go. Don't you even think about it. And if it ain't no room in the back, you just gonna have to miss the bus, baby. Motherfuckers lived and died for them damn bus lines. Motherfuckers went to war to sit on the front of that bus. But let's be real. Like they said on the Barbershop movie, they said Rosa Parks thought she was too good to sit in the back with them dudes because she was light-skinned or she got tired of that shit. She like, I could pass for one of these seats. The last thing she wanted to do was go back there with them motherfuckers. She was passing or whatever. Rest in peace to Rosa Parks. But it got international attention. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people say she was so sick of niggas, she didn't even want to go back there and sit with their ass. And when they asked her to go back there, she got offended because she didn't want to be back there with their ass. So this is what it was back in the day. You get everybody in the back, chilling, doing whatever. They had colored waiting rooms. Private property, no parking. So if you had to wait, you go in there where the black people sit at. They had Hitler's love life revealed. Hold on, what the hell? Bingo tonight. They was playing bingo. Good housekeeping flyers. They had true story. They had Shawn Blazington news back in the 1920s. Hold on, y'all. They had the color only benches. Color only. Like, don't know, but if you black, this is where you supposed to sit at. Damn. The color waiting. Man, when did they take this shit down? Fast forward to 2025, and you got shit like this in the news. Where these niggas come from, man? I don't get it. Okay, I'm going to look at a little bit more of this news, then we're going to keep it moving because this shit is heartbreaking. Look at this, y'all.
We don't have services that they used to have for mentally ill people in terms of dealing with them. And I think the problem here is, I'm guessing the Trump administration was looking for an example. This video was quite disturbing. You have the combination of social media at the same time blowing it up, and so it creates sort of the perfect storm to point to something. Just like when Dukakis, when he was running for president, Lee Atwater took advantage of that one incident that was terrible, that was very troubling for voters once they called attention to it.
So certain people have been looking for an opportunity to find a case like this, to make a point like this. I want to play, this is Charlie Kirk, why he says this hasn't gotten a lot of attention.
A white Ukrainian refugee was murdered just because she was white. Everybody knows that, obviously. If a random white person simply walked up to and stabbed a nice, law-abiding black person for no reason, it would be an apocalyptically huge national story used to impose national sweeping political changes on the whole country. Instead, Megan Basham, no one seems to care when a white woman gets stabbed to the death.
Wow. He said white a lot.
Well, we are talking about it here on ABC, so I guess
True.
I mean, I don't think that's fair. Look, being in the system, because I have represented people who are mentally ill, and here's the balance. The balance is taking away people's freedom versus evaluating their mental illness. And New York City, there are a lot of programs for people who are mentally ill, but they have to want to be there.
Yeah, and it's
about
difficult
forcing them to be there.
When you are mentally ill, you have a hard time knowing that you are mentally ill. But also,
Shit, speak of the goddamn devil. What the hell? She can't be serious with this shit. It would be safe to say that she's mentally ill. It'd be safe to say that a lot of black people are mentally ill. Especially in America, man. You walk like that and you talk like this and like you're totally black. People don't know what the fuck they are. Especially in America, man. You niggas is insane. She flinging her hair all over the, man, get the shit out of here, man. All I'ma say is, they need to make people show ID. Well, ain't gonna be no more buses. Problem solved, man. Problem solved. Ain't gonna be no more buses soon. And that's the end of the video. That's what I got out of this. I made this video to get a better understanding of what the fuck happened. It ain't gonna be no bone buses. Black people fought and died in this country to sit on anywhere on the bus. Black people don't protest it just to have a seat on the motherfucker. But what's gonna be next? They gonna go back to the cut. I'll be goddamned if I go to the colored bathroom, man. Cause you know them thugs gonna be in there. Soon as you go in the colored bathroom, it's gonna be a nigga in there talking about, do you smoke? You smoke? You drink? What's up? What you got some pills? What's good? It's gonna be them zesty men hanging around them black bathrooms and all. I ain't going for it, man. They they gonna do without that, them segregated schools and shit. I mean, them integrated schools. It's gonna go back to segregation. That's what's about to happen, man. You gonna have to, shop where you shop. It's gonna be reverse. Yo, let me show y'all something real quick before we get out of here. I seen something the other day, and it was showing the ghettos. Look, they had the, I ain't gonna say that they had ghettos and shit back in the day in the city. So nowadays when you look in the city, it's blacks and Puerto Ricans in the ghetto. But back then, it was other people in the ghetto. The ghettos of America it wasn't no black ghettos. But when that white flight, when they started bringing all the black people in to the ghettos, and they moved to the suburbs, shit, that did them a favor. Like, hell, they done built up some shit. We can go live better than this. Y'all come in, y'all could have the ghetto. We gonna get out the ghetto. We gonna move out to the suburbs and all that shit. Y'all can have the ghetto. Now everything in reverse. They coming back to the ghetto, and black people can only afford to live far, far out. And they getting rid of the public transportation. So if you ain't got no car, you better learn how to grow some damn food. This shit crazy, man. This fool done ruined it for black people in America, especially black men. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. I got to go. Rest in peace to the beautiful young lady that lost her life. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. And I want to give a special shout out to her family, her friends, her co-workers and stuff, man. They wasn't expecting for nothing like this to happen. I don't know how long she been in America, but you figure, it would have been more welcoming than where she was at, because she left where she was at to come to America. So now you wonder why Japanese and Asian people be so hostile a lot of times towards black Americans, and people from other countries, they look out for the black Americans. Now that people got a legitimate reason, an international reason why, man. It's so sad. Fuck him and rest in peace to her, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. Yo, I'm gonna holler at y'all on my next video, man.